Hello friends, welcome to my channel Language and Linguistics for Beginners. This is the first video in the series and please note it is meant for those who are at the beginners level in language and linguistics. Actually, in most universities, particularly those in the south, language and linguistics is a subject that students study in their second or third year. So I hope these videos will benefit those students. In addition, those of you who are using The Study of Language by George Yule as a textbook will find this useful because most of the information that I provide in these videos is based on Yule's book, The Study of Language. For those of you who already know something about the basics of language and linguistics, this might not be anything more than a recap or a revision. So let's move on to our topic. In today's video, I will be discussing the origins of language. So what is language? There are many definitions of language provided by experts like Leonard Bloomfield, Henry Sweet, and Boas. But I'm going to offer you a simple definition of language. It is a system of communication. Now, when we say it is a system of communication, we're dealing with oral and written communication. Now, how does oral communication take place? It takes place through sounds or phonemes. And how does written communication take place? We use symbols, meaning letters or graphemes in written communication. So let me explain what phonemes, letters and graphemes are with an example. Now listen to this sound.
Beat,
You find three different sounds here. B, E, T. And these three sounds produce beat. And these three sounds, B, E, and T, are called phonemes. Now, how do we represent this sound in writing? We write it using four symbols. B, E, A, and T. Now, these symbols are nothing but the English letters or the letters of the English alphabet. But how are these letters and sounds related? The sound B is represented by the letter B. So, it is a grapheme. A grapheme is a letter or a set of letters that represents a sound. Here in this word, the sound E is represented by the letters E and A. These letters E and A together form a single grapheme for the E sound. The T sound is represented by the letter T. So let's sum up. In the sound beat, there are three phonemes or units of sound, B, E, and T. Beat consists of four letters, B, E, A, T in writing. There are three graphemes for the word beat, and E and A are seen as a single grapheme. So these are simple definitions merely for your understanding. Now let's move on to the different theories on the origins of language. Now we will start with the Hindu tradition. In the Hindu tradition, Saraswati is the wife of Brahma, the god of creation. She is the goddess of learning, and therefore she is also responsible for speech. That is why one of her names is Vachi. The word Vachi means speech, which is like nectar. The Indian term for nectar is Amrit or Amritam. Another name by which she is known is Vak Devi. Vak means speech and Devi means goddess. Vagishwari. Vagishwari and Vak Devi mean the same. Vak stands for speech, Ishwari meaning goddess. So Vak Devi and Vagishwari mean the goddess of speech. Vani. The word Vani means sound or voice or speech. So this is what the Hindu tradition says. Hindus believe that speech comes from the goddess Saraswati. Now let's see what the Bible has to say. Now according to the book of Genesis, or the first book of the Bible, God created Adam in his own image. He gave Adam the right to give names to all living creatures in the Garden of Eden. So Adam was the first human being who received speech as a gift from God. There is another biblical reference about the origin of different languages. Earlier, perhaps people spoke only one language. Now in Babylon, the people wanted to show that they were as powerful as God, or in fact more powerful than God. So they decided to build a tower that had its roof in the sky. God punished them for this arrogance by making them speak different languages. As a result, most people couldn't understand each other. So they chose to live in different parts of the earth depending on the languages they spoke. The tower was left incomplete, but instead mankind started using different languages. Now let's move on to what Darwin had to say on the origin of languages. Now we all know that Darwin was famous for his theory on the evolution of species. He said that man knew the art of music and rhythm from the very beginning, and he used it to charm other human beings. Remember, there is rhythm in everything we do. The way we walk, the way we run, the way we hop, the way we perform certain activities. So from this sense of music and rhythm, language must have developed. This was Darwin's theory. Now Darwin also believed that human beings produce certain sounds when they are happy, sad, angry, or when they are doing some work. From these sounds, language must have gradually developed. For example, when you're sad, you cry. When you're trying to do some work or when you're trying to lift something, you say, ah, you make sounds like these. So from such sounds, language must have developed. Now these views of Darwin are seen in the different theories of language, which we will be discussing in the next video. And I hope you found this information useful. It is just a crux of what you see in the first chapter of George Yule's The Study of Language. So friends, thank you for listening, and please feel free to share your comments and suggestions.